You're standing in a hallway you've walked 1,000 times. Same floor, same fluorescent lights, same name on the corner office door. And it's not yours. It's never been yours. Even though everyone on this floor knows you're the one who actually runs things. You built the systems. You landed the clients. You carry this place on your back. And every single morning you walk past that door, and every single morning you feel the same thing tighten in your chest. The thing you never say out loud. The thing you barely admit to yourself. It should be me. Thousands of years before you were born, an angel stood in the throne room of God. He was the most beautiful thing ever created. Light didn't just shine on him. It moved through him. He was adorned with every precious stone the earth would ever produce. He was perfect in beauty, though flawless in design, and positioned closer to God's throne than any other being in existence. And one day, standing in that light, surrounded by that glory, holding that position, he looked at the throne, and he felt the exact same thing you feel in that hallway. It should be me. Two completely different beings, separated by millennia, carrying the same poison. Let me show you how this ends, for both of them. In Ezekiel chapter 28, God describes this angel's original design, and the language is staggering. You were the seal of perfection, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. You were in Eden, the garden of God. Every precious stone adorned you: ruby, topaz, emerald, chrysolite, onyx, jasper, sapphire, turquoise, and beryl. Your settings and mountings were made of gold. On the day you were created, they were prepared. This isn't a description of a servant. This is a description of a masterpiece. God made this angel the way a jeweler crafts a crown. Every facet intentional, every stone placed with purpose. He was designed to be breathtaking. The passage continues. You were anointed as a guardian cherub, for so I ordained you. You were on the holy mount of God. You walked among the fiery stones. A guardian cherub. That's not a low-ranking angel. In the hierarchy of heavenly beings, cherubim are the ones closest to God's throne. They guard his presence. They reflect his glory. This angel didn't just work near the top. He was the top. The highest ranking, most beautiful, most privileged created being in existence. And for a while, that was enough. You know what that feels like. And that season when the work is good, and the recognition is real, and you're genuinely grateful for the position you're in. When you go home at the end of the day and think, I can't believe I get to do this. When the talent feels like a gift, not a weapon. When being excellent at your job is its own reward because you understand that the ability came from somewhere and you're just the one carrying it. You remember that season because it ended. It ended the same way it always ends. Not with a catastrophe, with a whisper. A slow, quiet shift from, I'm grateful for what I have, to, I deserve what I have. And from there, the distance between I deserve what I have and I deserve more than what I have is terrifyingly short. Ezekiel records the exact moment it happened for this angel. Verse 17. Your heart became proud on account of your beauty, and you corrupted your wisdom because of your splendor. Read that again. His heart became proud on account of his beauty. The very thing that made him extraordinary, the beauty God designed into him, became the thing that destroyed him. Not because the beauty was bad, because he forgot where it came from. He looked at himself and saw something that belonged to him instead of something that had been given to him. And that single shift, from stewardship to ownership, from gratitude to entitlement, was the crack that split heaven in half. Back in the hallway, you got the promotion, not the one, but a good one. A title, a raise, more responsibility. And for about 3 weeks, it felt like enough. But then you saw the org chart. You saw who was still above you. And the voice came back. Not loud. Never loud. Just a low hum underneath of everything. You're better than this. You deserve more than this. They don't see what you see. They don't know what you're capable of. And the thing about that voice is, parts of it are true. You are talented. You are capable. You have outperformed people who hold positions above yours. Those are facts. But facts and entitlement are not the same thing. And the voice doesn't deal in facts. It deals in conclusions. You deserve more. You should be in charge. And if they won't give it to you, you'll take it. Isaiah chapter 14 records what happened when the angel reached that conclusion. And the language is 5 declarations, 5 I will statements, each one more audacious than the last. I will ascend to the heavens. I will raise my throne above the stars of God. I will sit enthroned on the mount of assembly. I will ascend above the tops of the clouds. I will make myself like the Most High. 5 times I will. Not God willing. Not if God allows. I will. The shift is total. This is no longer a being who serves the one on the throne. This is a being who wants to become the one on the throne. And the tragedy isn't that he wanted greatness. The tragedy is that he already had it. He was already the most magnificent created being in existence. But most magnificent created being wasn't enough. He wanted to be uncreated, self-sufficient, supreme. He wanted to be Gosdeot. And you started doing the same thing. Not consciously, not with 5 dramatic declarations to the sky. You did it the way humans do it, in meetings. But in conversations where you casually undermined the person above you, where you made sure everyone knew the idea was yours before they could give credit to someone else, where you started building alliances, not for the work but for the positioning, where you stopped mentoring the people beneath you because they were getting too good and you needed to protect your territory. You didn't announce a rebellion. You just quietly started acting like the throne was already yours. The angel did announce a rebellion. Revelation chapter 12 pulls back the curtain and shows what happened next. Then war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back. But he was not strong enough, and they lost their place in heaven. He wasn't strong enough. Yet the most powerful created being in the universe went to war with his creator and lost. Not in a close battle, not after a prolonged fight. He lost his place. The position he'd held since the beginning of creation. The beauty, the access, the proximity to the throne. All of it, gone. In one act of rebellion, he traded everything he actually was for everything he wanted to be, and ended up with neither. Isaiah 14 delivers the verdict. How you have fallen from heaven, morning star, son of the dawn. You have been cast down to the earth. Morning star. In Hebrew, Helel ben Shashar, the shining one. The day star. In Latin, Lucifer, the light bearer. That was his name. The one who carried light. The one who was designed to reflect the glory of God so brilliantly that his very presence illuminated heaven. And he exchanged all of it, the name, the light, the glory, the position, for a throne he was never meant to sit on. You got fired. Or maybe you didn't get fired. Maybe it was worse than that. Maybe you got exactly what you wanted. The corner office, the title, the authority. And you sat behind that desk on the first day and felt nothing. Because the thing you wanted was never actually the thing you wanted. You wanted to matter. You wanted to be seen. You wanted to know that you were irreplaceable. And a title can't give you that. A position can't give you that. Only the thing you sacrificed on the way up could give you that. And you left it on the floor of every relationship you burned to get here. Here's what I need you to see. The person in the hallway and the angel in the throne room are having the same crisis. But not a crisis of ability. They're both extraordinarily gifted. Not a crisis of opportunity. They've both been given positions most people would dream of. It's a crisis of identity. They've both made the same catastrophic error. They looked at a gift and saw a right. They looked at a position and saw a possession. They looked at what they'd been given and whispered, "Not enough." And that whisper, that specific whisper, is the oldest sound in the universe. Older than human history. Older than the fall in the garden. It started in heaven, in the chest of the most beautiful being God ever made. And it has been echoing in human hearts ever since. Because what happened next is the part nobody preaches. The angel didn't just fall alone. He convinced a third of the angels to fall with him. At Revelation 12:4 says his tail swept a third of the stars out of the sky. A third of heaven's angels looked at his rebellion and said, "He's right. We deserve more too." The poison spread, because that's what entitlement does. It doesn't stay contained. It recruits. It whispers to everyone around you the same lie it whispered to you. You deserve more. They're holding you back. You don't need them. And people believe it, not because the lie is convincing, but because it tells them what they already want to hear. And you did the same thing. You pulled people to your side. You created an inner circle of allies who agreed with your version of events. You made loyalty to you the price of admission. And anyone who pushed back, anyone who said, "Maybe you're the problem," they were out. Just like the angels who stayed faithful were suddenly on the wrong side of a war they didn't start. But the war is over. That's the part the angel never accepted. And it's the part you might be refusing to accept right now. The war is over. The throne was never vacant. The position was never available. The seat you've been fighting for belongs to someone else, and it always did. And the brutal, liberating, terrifying truth is this. You were never meant to be on the throne. You were meant to be near it. And near it was never a consolation prize. Near it was the whole point. The angel's position, guardian cherub, covered in jewels, walking among the fiery stones, reflecting the glory of the Most High. That wasn't a stepping stone to something better. That was the best. That was the peak, at the closest any created being could ever get to the source of all beauty, all power, all meaning. And he looked at the peak and called it a floor. You looked at your life, your gifts, your position, your influence, your relationships, and called it a floor. You treated the best things you were ever given as foundations to build something higher. And the building collapsed, because it always collapses. Because a creature trying to become the creator isn't ambition. It's a category error. And category errors don't end in promotion. They end in free fall. Nobody falls because they have nothing. Lucifer had everything. The corner office and the title and the beauty and the access and the proximity and the glory. He had it all. And he fell, not in spite of what he had, but because of what he decided it meant. He decided it meant he was God. And the distance between I am gifted and I am God is exactly one whisper. One quiet, seductive, perfectly reasonable whisper that says, "You deserve more." That whisper has a name now. The whole world knows it. But before it was a name on anyone's lips, it was a feeling in someone's chest. The same feeling you've felt. The same tightness. The same hunger. The same refusal to look at what you have and simply say, "This is enough. This is good. This was given to me. I didn't earn it. I don't own it. And I am grateful." Gratitude is the thing Lucifer couldn't do. It's the one act that would have prevented everything. Every war, every fall, every demon, every darkness that followed. But if the most beautiful angel in heaven had looked at everything he was, and everything he'd been given, and said, "Thank you," instead of more, the story of the universe would be different. And if you said it, right now, today, in your hallway, in your office, in your life, your story would be different too. Jesus said something once that most people read too fast. Luke chapter 10, verse 18. His disciples had just come back from a mission trip, amazed that demons obeyed them. And Jesus said, "I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven." Lightning, not a slow descent, not a gradual erosion. Lightning. One flash, and the highest point in creation became the lowest. One moment of, "I will make myself like the Most High," and the light-bearer became the Prince of Darkness. The morning star became the ancient serpent. The guardian of the throne became the enemy of everyone who sits near it. And Jesus says it casually, almost quietly, as if he's reminding his disciples, and you, that the fall is always faster than the climb. That what took an eternity to build can be destroyed in a single act of pride. That the most injurious thing in the universe isn't weakness. It's gifting without gratitude, power without surrender, beauty that forgets it was designed. The story of Lucifer isn't ancient history. It's a warning label on the inside of every gift you've ever been given. It's the flashing light on every promotion, every talent, every compliment, every season of success. It's the question that follows every open door. Will you walk through it with an open hand or a clenched fist? Lucifer clenched, and heaven lost its brightest star. When you're still standing in the hallway, the name on the door still isn't yours. And right now, this moment, you have a choice the angel didn't get to make twice. You can look at that door and let the whisper win. Or you can look at your hands, at everything they can do, everything they've been given the ability to build, and say the one word that would have changed everything if it had been spoken in heaven before the war began. Enough. Not, "I'm settling." Not, "I'm giving up." Enough as in, what I have is a gift, and I will steward it instead of weaponize it. I will be excellent where I am instead of resentful that I'm not somewhere else. I will reflect the light instead of trying to become it. That's the difference between the angel who fell and the one who didn't. Not talent, not beauty, not intelligence. Surrender. When the most beautiful angel who ever existed couldn't do it. The question is whether you can. If this hits something in you, the story of Archangel Michael, the angel who fought Lucifer and won, goes just as deep, especially when you understand what he did that Lucifer refused to do. That full story is right here. And if you're not subscribed yet, we go this deep every single week.